we just did one of these practice problems with our enrichment groups the last 2 weeks, and Mr. Button and I ran a group, and it's amazing how well the kids can do this and how excited they get about doing this. It's better than doing a sheet of paper with a bunch of math on it, a bunch of math facts, and just stuff that's rote memorization. However, that's a lot of math that a student needs to know. It's a lot of math. So this is currently has been scheduled. It's not going to be the exact problem, but this is a sample problem for a 4th grade math test. So the 5th grade math test I didn't put up there because it's even more intense. So just wanted to give you an idea of where we're taking our kids and why we have to do math differently. It's not going to be about show me what 8 times 6 is. It's going to be about solve this problem. But again, that's a 1/4 of their test. A 1/4 of it is multiple choice. A 1/4 of it is they have to draw something or design something on the computer. And then a 1/4 of it's problem solving problems, like the lily has 4 feet of a meter. So, and they actually have to physically type in the answers. There's not multiple choice. The anxious part for me is that this is fully implemented in 14-15. So that's just 2 school years away. We got next year, and then the following year this comes online. They're starting to do a pretty good job of getting some information out there now. And I'm at our welcome back staff meeting, we had a teacher come up on stage and talk about a lot of different things that he was doing. And one of the things he said that really resonated with me is you can drive the bus, you can ride the bus, or you can be under the bus. And I'm kind of a bus driver. I like to be ahead of the game, so that's why we're sharing these with kids now. We want them to start thinking this way before they're actually assessed on it. And the high stakes portion of that assessment is that kids have to pass a math assessment, and they have to pass a reading assessment, and they have to pass the writing assessment to get a high school diploma nowadays. Okay? They don't have to pass it in 5th grade, but they do have to pass it by 11th or 12th grade to get their high school diploma. So yeah, we're pushing. It's important. Question?
Are all the kids going to take this assessment, or is this the one that was random?
Good question. Are all the kids going to take this assessment? A question like this will be for all kids. Yes. So what can I do as a parent to help my child? Remember when I said the rote memorization, de-emphasize rote memorization? Well, I want to tell you something. One of the things that has to be memorized with fluency is our math facts. Kids absolutely have to know the math facts. And the reason why is to do mental math, you have to be able to multiply 8 times 6 in your head. Okay? Because we're going to do some mental math with 3-digit by 2-digit numbers. And they're going to be able to do it if they know their basic math facts. There's been some discussion that, oh, we don't have to memorize them anymore because we just have to be able to figure them out. Well, that's true to a point, but it's just like reading. If I don't decode well in reading, it takes me a long time to read. Anybody read a big fancy research study? I have to read it like 82 times because there's words in there I don't even know what they mean. Well, when we don't read fluently and we're so worried about sounding out that word, we don't understand what that passage said anymore. And so we work a lot on kids to get more fluent so that they can move quicker and then they can comprehend better. Same thing in math. If I have to think and add up and count all of these, well, then the more challenging concepts, I just don't get there because I'm spending all my energy on memorizing those math facts, or trying to figure those out. So it is absolutely crucial. In fact, Singapore says, based on their curriculum, it's written right in the documents, that exiting 1st graders have mastered addition and subtraction up to 40. So any combination of numbers up to 40 is mastered when they leave 1st grade. We're not going to teach it to them anymore because they already have it. Okay? Now, we know in reality that's not always the case, and we revisit, but the idea is we don't teach it anymore, that they have that mastered. Exiting 2nd graders, mastered multiplication and division of all 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 10s. Okay? My son had that. I knew he was supposed to have that, so that's a piece of it. I would venture to say most 2nd graders don't have that all the way yet, especially the division facts. Okay? So that's a challenge. Exiting 3rd graders, facts are done. They know them all. Up to hundreds, thousands, they know them. They know all their math facts, their basic facts. Okay? So when they arrive to us in 4th grade, we're not supposed to teach math facts anymore. That's supposed to be done. We're supposed to revisit. We do math sprints. We do little math activities with math facts, but we don't teach them anymore. Kids have them memorized. So what else can you do? Well, you can avoid the temptation to show them the shortcuts. Let them tell you the shortcuts. Let them figure it out for you. Let's see, what else can I do? Engage your child in real life math problem solving problems. When you have a problem, just ask them, how would you solve this? What do we do? How do we figure this out? Help me balance my checkbook, would you? I don't know. Just anything we can do to encourage them in real life math problem solving problems. Don't help them, but don't give them the answers, right? Because a perfect example for me is when I come home and there's a coat and backpack laying on the floor, I go pick it up and put it away because it's easier, it's quicker. My wife comes home, Raylyn, Jace, go get your backpack, your coat, put it away, because she's teaching them that that's their job to do. I'm an enabler. I just pick it up and take care of it. Well, we can do the same thing in math. When my daughter's struggling with a pretty complex problem in math, I can tell her the answer in 3 seconds and show her the shortcut, and then I don't have to deal with that anymore, and she can go watch her TV or go play or go to bed or whatever it is. But if I stop and say, I don't know, how would you solve it? It's probably going to take us 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get through it, but she's going to remember it forever. So resist that. Just help them find the answer real quick and move on. Jump the gun. Don't give answers. Make them think. Ask them, what do you think? Oh, and practice math facts every day, because that's important. We have to have those memorized. I think I said that in number 1 too, right? So that was kind of important. Do mental math activities with your kids. And then 7, practice math facts daily. So yeah, both of those are kind of important. So that's probably the number 1 thing you can do as a parent for your child, especially prior to 4th grade. If you have younger children, get those math facts ingrained. If you do have a 4th or 5th grader here in our building, which you do, then make sure they have them mastered. Just constantly working on those is huge. Let's see. Oh, here's some mental math. Remember I talked about number bonds earlier? Well, if we can think in terms of number bonds and split up this 64, I'm going to split it into 54 and 10, because 10s are so nice to work with. They're just so easy to think about. So I've got 64 minus 8. I could do that in my head, but I'd have to think a little bit. We get kids to think, okay, 64 can be split into 54 and 10. Well, now I can do this little 10 minus 8 is what? It's 2. So I know that 54 plus 2, because after I got rid of this, that's what I had left. 54 plus 2 is 56. So it's just a quicker way of kind of thinking of it mentally, getting into groups of 10, okay? Remember when we used to borrow and carry? Well, check this little thing out. We could break this down into 1 and 1999. Is 1999 1,999? If I take 1,847 away from that, is that easier math? I can do that in my head. I know that 7 is 2 less. That's 5 less. That's 1 less. Okay, so right there, I have 152. I can do that in my head just looking at it, but I still have this 1 left over here, so I just add it back. My answer is 153. I don't have to borrow and carry anything, because all I'm doing is subtracting straight down now. So again, just short little kind of, not tricks, but strategies that kids can use. That's it. That's my presentation tonight. So again, if you have questions now, I'd love to answer them. If you think of questions later, I'd love to answer them. If you want to stick around and do math problems with me, I'd love it. I could do some bar modeling, but I wouldn't torture you that way. Your kids are doing math games right now in the NPR, and they'd love to have you join them, I'm sure. My plan was for this presentation to go 30 minutes, and I knew that wouldn't happen because I'm a talker, and I'm very, very passionate about Singapore math. I'm a believer in it. I'm a math major. I love math. It's what I enjoy doing, and I'm sold. This is the way I used to teach in my 4th grade classroom, and people thought I was crazy, and I'm kind of glad that we kind of adopted it now because I don't look as crazy as I used to. So this is good stuff in my opinion.